MMA. I'm Coach Lee here with you. I made a video here recently about how valuable your teammates are and how you really can't do much in this sport without good teammates. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can be a good teammate and how you should strive to be a great teammate, actually, because other people need you, right? I talked about how you need your good teammates around you. Well, your good teammates that you need around you also need you to be the good teammate for them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. By the way, see, I'm repping the Mastering MMA hoodie. If you want some Mastering MMA gear, hit me up. Let me know. We can get it shipped to you. Or if you're local, we can bring it to you. But anyways, so being a good teammate, one thing that requires that you really can't fake is you've got to care about your teammates. And the gyms I've been to, most of the time there is a caring relationship between the people that are there, all the students and the coaches and everything. You've got to be there when you can, right? You've got to try to make it in there as much as you can. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you've got to be in there all the time, right? If as much as you can make it in is one day a week, that's as much as you can make it in. Do what you can to be in there as much as possible, basically is what I'm saying. On top of that, you've got to be able to work with different skill levels. I've talked before about sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Well, if you're getting ready for competition, sometimes you got to be the hammer, and you just have to go in there and smash, right? Because you're getting ready for something. You might have a teammate that's not doing that, right? They're just in there, you know, normal everyday type stuff, or they might just be in there helping you get ready. There's times when you need to go in there and you need to push hard and do what you need to do to get you ready. But then there's other times where you'll be going with people who aren't on your skill level, and you need to tone it way back. And you'll probably find there's more times that you need to tone it back than you need to be in there smashing. You need to tone it back so that the people that are lower skill level than you can actually learn to start doing stuff, learn to start moving, and start improving off of that. If they are just getting smashed, they're not going to improve and start figuring out how to do offensive stuff. The reason you need to do that, because there's people on their skill level, especially the newer guys, there's not a whole lot of people under their skill level to where they can start working their new stuff. So you really want to let them work. That's not saying you gotta let them sub you 5 times in a round or anything. A lot of times I will let them work, let them put me in a bad position, and then I'll work my way back out of it. And then I'll let them work to another good position. You know, I'll even let them get me in an arm bar or a triangle or something, and then I'll fight my way back out of it. So they get good work out of it, right? Because they're starting to kind of figure out how to get places, you know, how to start chaining some stuff together. And I'm learning how to get some extra defensive work in, right? If I'm letting them get a rear naked choke in and it's in before I'm even starting to fight it, there's times where I might have to tap. That's an ego thing. Sometimes you got to let that ego go. I know I've been in the gym with people before who have plenty of experience and wouldn't let a brand new guy get any kind of advantage over them. And sometimes you'll have guys in there that'll come in and are kind of cocky, and you got to kind of break that ego before you let them work. But I've seen it when it's not somebody that's cocky coming at you like that. It's just somebody trying to work, and they wouldn't let them get any kind of advantage whatsoever because they were worried if they gave up that little bit, they might end up looking bad. So you got to get rid of that ego. That's a big part of being a good teammate, right? I've had, you know, guys come in and tap me, and it was guys that you really wouldn't think should be, but I let them work to a really good position, and you know, they were chokes in before I even start actually working, right? You know, I kind of let them get there, and then I start fighting, right? So I end up tapping to those sometimes. But that gives me a lot more experience in these bad spots. Now, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be getting near the experience fighting out of these bad spots. So when I'm going with people that are better, I'm not going to be near as comfortable there, right? So that's an advantage that comes back to me from being a good partner. Now, on the other side of this, the person that's on a lower level than me, they're going to start building some confidence. And sometimes they don't know that you're kind of letting them get away with stuff. But most of the time they know, right? If they've been in it for just a little bit, like, they can figure out when you're letting them get away with stuff and when you're not. And, they'll see how, guys that are a little bit above them, you're giving it to them a little bit more than you are the brand new guy, right? People will see that. They realize it. Most of them will appreciate that because they get to do more than just defend constantly. Defend. And this is striking, this is grappling, it doesn't matter what it is. It lets them start to figure out some offensive stuff. And if you're lower on the totem pole, there's not that many people you can do it to. So if you are a person that's higher on the totem pole, you need to come down and let them work so that they have plenty of opportunities to start to improve. And that's going to bring them up a lot faster so that they get more and more like a snowball effect. They will start getting better faster, and they'll get up to the level where you can get better work back off of them way faster because you're being the good teammate and you care about their improvement. Another thing about being a good teammate is you got to figure out when you need to back off of certain things for other people's good. You'll get people in there that'll get stubborn, right? They really don't want to lose to you for whatever reason. Especially as you move up in the gym. You move up in the gym, you kind of get a little bit of a target on your back. It's a status if somebody can tap you out or whatever. So you'll have that from time, and you'll get people who just don't want to tap out, and you'll have to let them get out of something, right? Once again, there's always good coming back from you being a good teammate, right? I get people all the time in positions where I could snap a joint or whatever it is. I could choke them unconscious, right? I can see them slowing down, they're just fighting, and I'll just let them go. Or I've got it right to that point where, like, I'm starting to put enough pressure on it, like it's getting close to a dangerous thing, and I'll just let them go. So the good news that comes back about that is I'm getting to work what happens if they get out of this for whatever reason, right? Because everybody's going to move a little different when you kind of let them go, and it lets you start to learn how to chain on the next couple submissions or the next couple movements or the next couple strikes, whatever the case may be, because you're letting them out of that bad spot. In general, when I do that, most of the time it's a newer person. I'm going to afterwards talk to them about it and be like, man, you kind of putting yourself in danger there. Like, I let you go because I don't want to see you hurt. But if you're going with somebody else that's similar, maybe just a little bit better than you, and they get you in that same position, they might not be willing to let it go, right? Their ego might be pulling too hard, and they're wanting that tap like it's a competition. So you've got to tell them about that, right? Make them aware of their own safety. You don't want them going out and getting hurt over not wanting to tap to an arm bar in practice, or wanting to get in a slugfest when you're sparring in practice. You don't want that, right? I've said it before in my videos. I got quite a few comments on it. If you break all your toys, you don't have anything to play with, right? So I've got to try to keep my toys in pristine condition so I have plenty to play with. But it's also teaching them, right? They're learning, and they are, me letting them out of that submission keeps them learning, right? It doesn't put them out for a while because they've got an injury and they have to sit out for 4 weeks while it heals or anything like that. That's another way you can be a really good teammate. The other thing is, sometimes people just have things going on outside the gym. Part of that caring thing is if you see somebody's off, like, reach out to them. Like, hey, what's going on, man? You don't seem in it today, or whatever. Find out what's going on. Sometimes people won't open up and just let them know, and it could be something simple that you could possibly help with, or some other people with the gym could help with. I know in the MMA Institute, we had a community. We talked a lot. We helped each other out. people had different skill sets and helped each other out. And with this new gym that I'm building now, since they shut down, I'm trying to make that an even stronger bond than it was there. That's why we do stuff outside of the gym. Once a month we get together and do something that's not normal day-to-day gym type stuff, and it strengthens that bond. I know I've helped out a bunch of the people that come through here with different minor things, whether it's, you know, loaning them a tool or coming to help them work on their house or their car, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And a lot of those guys have helped me out with stuff. Eric, that's in my videos a lot of times, that dude helps me out all the time. He's a mechanic. I ask him questions constantly about cars, you know, different things, and, you know, things I run into, or if I'm looking at vehicles, you know, what he's seen as it comes in, things like that. He doesn't hesitate. He'll see something, you know, when he comes out, sees something sitting for a while, he's like, hey, something matter with that? He you know, it's that community that we're building. We've got guys that are in computers. I have an issue, they're quick to be like, hey, how can I help you out? Another thing that you can do that kind of ties back into that caring thing is, if somebody's gone for a little while, reach out. You know, it might bring them back to the gym. It might not. It might be something out of their control of why they can't be there. But it could also be something that, you know, just you reaching out and showing that you care might change their outlook on the day, right? They might be something happened and they're starting into a depression, right? And just you reaching out to check out on them sometimes is enough for them to be like, oh, it's not that bad. I've had this happen multiple times where I haven't seen somebody in a couple weeks, and, you know, I reach out to them like, hey, what's going on? You never know what's going on with people in their lives outside of your gym. And the more that bond happens, the closer you all will become, the better teammates you will be, the better team you will be, which is something I'm really trying to build here with this new gym, is just everybody being real super close knit. So that's some things you can do to be a good teammate, right? You know, try to work on other people's levels. And I touched on like going down to somebody's level. Also, like, just because you're the brand new guy doesn't mean you can't help out the high level guy that's in the gym. Sometimes you can, with you not being up on their skill level, allows them to try the new stuff they're working on. In general, the high level guys aren't trying their new stuff, their new techniques they're working on with other high level guys in live type scenario, whether it's sparring or rolling or whatever. A lot of times they're starting to learn where their flaws are on their new techniques when they're rolling or sparring with the guys that are a good bit below them, right? The newer people, because they can get away with larger mistakes, right? And then as they get comfortable with that, then they'll move up the ranks as to who they're trying it on. And obviously there's things that you'll learn and immediately you can hit it on guys on your level and even a little bit above your level. It happens. But for the most part, you start working on your new techniques with people that aren't on your skill level yet, because you can have bigger mistakes without having quite as big a punishment for those mistakes. So as a new person, don't be afraid to work with the experienced guys, right? Don't be bashful about if they say, hey, let's roll. Don't be like, oh, well, I don't want to waste your time, right? They might just be trying to get somebody where they can work on something new. And hopefully they're kind of from the same mindset as me, where they're not just going to go out there and smash you, right? They're going to let you work. And they might be looking for this specific thing, whether it be, you know, a specific combination when you're striking, or a specific submission. It could be body positions in both striking and grappling, or a specific takedown off, you know. They might be trying to get your body to move into a certain spot so they can try something new. And if they're pretty experienced, they've got quite a few tricks to get you to move where they want you to move. So as the new guy, you can be a good teammate just by being there. Especially if they're being a good teammate and letting you work, then the point when they need to do what they need to do, you kind of become pretty much like a live striking or grappling dummy. You move, you react, but you're not a threat to them at that point, right? They can try something new and get way out of their comfort zone without feeling like they're going to put themselves in too much danger, where they can't do that with guys that are on their level or above their level. And as a new person, I'm sure most of you all are feeling that, is like, you know, when you start going with the guys above your level, you feel real timid and afraid to try new stuff. You know, it's super simple stuff you're doing, even if you've learned some more beyond that, you still kind of go back to the super basics and just kind of stay there and afraid to get out of that comfort zone. What's the same thing with them? It's just on a higher level. So sometimes you being there, especially when they're letting you work and do some good stuff and learn some things, but then when it gets to the position that they're looking for to do what they're trying to do, then they step it up just for a brief moment so they can get their practice in doing what they're looking to do. So that's another way you can help out as a new person. Instead of being the higher guy that lowers the level for the new guy, you can be the new guy that goes in there and pushes as hard as you can with the new guy. Now that doesn't mean go out there and be a spaz and trying to knock them out or trying to rip their arm off, but trying to do your best as a training partner, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying go out there and do your best, you're trying to knock them out, right? Go out there and do your best trying to work on what you need to work on, trying to push them as much as you can while still being a good training partner. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you got something out of this, hit that like button for me. Subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff so you don't miss anything. Check out our Facebook group. We are on all the social media now, so look for Mastering MMA on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Definitely join the Facebook group. Lots of good stuff there. We're on all these Parler, TikTok, Snapchat. We're on everything now, so find us on those places. And also, if you could leave me a 5-star review on Google, that would be excellent as well. So we will catch you next time on Mastering MMA with Coach Lee. Have a great day.